actually not live this entire time? I was not live for half an hour. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so hi, I'm Hikari Harpy, and this was my first time trying to schedule a stream. But yeah. So for those who end up joining the stream and wondering why it's half an hour late, that is why. But and anyways, today we're continuing where we left off from last week's stream, in which I color in my characters, but sort of reimagining their outfits as if they were in a gacha game. But to be perfectly honest, I think these outfits just make great alternative outfits nonetheless. So yeah. Goodness. Oh. Hello, Alpha. Welcome, welcome. Just to let you know, I did not click on like start live stream for like half an hour from when I said I was going to start the stream. I didn't realize I was supposed to click on it in the studio. Hello, welcome, Mr. Affairman. You're still on the waiting screen for the stream right now. Yeah. So I think that's all completely on me. Again, I am so sorry for the delay, but thank you very much for stopping by despite my initial hiccup. Hello, Haruo. Welcome, welcome. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, I mean, I tried streaming and I was muted without realizing before. Yeah, honestly, I think I should have seen this coming, you know. I think at least a couple times and possibly more streamers will eventually have their hiccups. Where it's like, oh, the audio's not working, we can't hear you, you're muted. Speaking of audio, how's the mixing sounding? Like, you guys can hear music, but it's not too loud, hopefully? As for story genre, variants of fantasy, really. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's just so many things you can do with fantasy that it's really nice to have sort of an open sandbox to play with and just be like, oh, but what if this and what if that? Goodness. I'm still just laughing at myself, honestly. I'm sure several people who watch the VOD later will be like, okay, we get it. You had stream issues. Get on with it. Ooh, this is a good one, I think. But yeah, as you can see, I didn't get too far, but I already inked. And I'm in the midst of coloring. Oh Alden. I would say he's a narcissistic demon of sorts. But that's alright. I will at least know better about how to do how to start a scheduled stream next time. Comedies too? Yeah. I mean, adventure comedy, honestly. Always a good time. I think possibly, like, Princess Bride might fall under that as well, just... And just some well-placed jokes are always nice. Let's see. What's a good green for his cape? I want it darker than the accent. Ooh, that could work. Alright. You grew up reading scattered Discworld novels. I've heard a lot about Discworld. That's, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's Terry Pratchett's work? Yeah, it's Terry Pratchett. Yeah. I think the only thing I've seen of Discworld is, like, the stuff about, like, the Grim Reaper or death. Like, I think, was there, like, one time he, like, took the place of Santa Claus or something like that? All I wanted to say was that I've heard good stuff about it. I don't know if I'd ever get around to actually reading it, but I will take people's word for it about how good it is. Right, as for the question of the day, it depends a lot on my mood, but it tends to swing between comedy and romance a lot of the time when it comes to anime and manga. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Not a big movie watcher. That's also fair. I mean, honestly, I feel like, especially nowadays, there's like rarely any good movies And I'm also just especially picky in that I tend to watch nothing but animated movies, usually. Reaper Man is about death, losing his job, and the many consequences. It's funny, touching, and adventurous. Hogfather, he had to take the reins of the Hogfather, not Santa, because the big guy was missing on the big day. Yeah, that one. That's right, that's what that was. But yeah, those are all good stuff. And even though it's been a long time since I've, like, had any anime or manga, there's definitely a decent amount of, like, comedy ones that I liked. Like, especially, like, the slice of life ones always lean towards, like, very absurd comedy type tropes. Your Lucky Star, your Nichijo, or Danshi Kokosei Nichijo. And, gosh, I'm blanking out on it. It's the one with Osaka. I think the last movie I found really good was Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Yeah. I didn't watch The Last Wish, but I've seen, like, all the, like, reviews and stuff about it, and that honestly was, like, really good. Like, pretty decent stuff in my opinion. Like, from what I've seen, and just, yeah. Haven't seen the Sonic movies yet, and do tend to do so. But yeah, if you are a Sonic fan, I would recommend the Sonic movies. If you're willing to, like, endure, like, the buddy road trip portion of the first movie, it's like, it's a decent, like, foundation for what the second and third movie, you know, ends up being a lot more Sonic-y and more adventure-y, more action-y. So there's a lot more, like, cool stuff to see, to get hyped for. Azumanga Daioh, thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. How are you? Fine, thank you. I wish I were a bird. Separate question, does anyone have stories that make them cry every time? For me, it's Bicentennial Man. Mom had to endure me explaining Sonic lore after I saw Sonic 3. Yeah. There's so much. But yeah, movies that make me cry. I mean, I could be, you know, simple and just say, like, the ending of Iron Man, or not Iron Giant, Iron Man, Iron Giant. Oh, is Godzilla -1 a tearjerker? I didn't know that. that, like, I think I'm just, like, generally emotional whenever, you know, scenes, you know, require themselves to be emotional. Like, if there's a third act breakup, if it's done well, usually, even if I expect it coming, if I see it coming and I expect them to get back together at the end, sometimes I'll still tear up, like, when the reunion happens or whatnot. Find it very hard to cry at most forms of media, but I think I did break slightly at the conclusions of series like Kaicho and Maid-sama and Toradora. Yes, real, I've cried at Ultraman before. Are you talking about like the Netflix Ultraman, or I've only seen like bits and pieces of that, but again, it's one of those things where I've heard decent things about it. What about grass green? Well, that is bright. That is. I should have been using this one. Is it too late? Not quite too late. I think what I'll do is I'll make some big decisions, as Bob Ross would say. Hope everyone is doing all right. They're having a decent evening, noon, or morning, wherever they are. And I just realized there is a spot of black that I forgot to color in, so I will fix that as soon as I'm done with this vest. I should have been using a cooler gray for that one, but that's okay. And once again, missed a spot every single time. That's okay though. And then OG stuff goes hard, 1960. There was one great scene in the Hunter the Parenting that gets me. In one of the audio logs, the vampire Kevin tells the parable of Kevin Whitworth. And it's one of the most sobering moments I've seen. Aww. 1960 Ultraman always makes me cry. And something that is usually a horror comedy. Doing okay? 3 a.m. challenge. Goodness. But I understand. I mean, how else were you going to watch this stream? But yeah, I'm doing alright. I'm just trying to survive the heat, honestly. It's kind of warm where I'm at. But otherwise, yeah, I listed a whole bunch of things half an hour ago when I didn't know that I wasn't streaming, but for starters, Monster Hunter Wilds just came out with their second title update for the game. So they're bringing out 2 returning monsters, which very hyped for, as well as some other features like a new festival coming out, layered weapons finally coming to the game. So, and all this is releasing like within a couple of days. So very excited for that. Also, I did watch The Amazing Digital Circus episode 5. So I really enjoyed that one. And I liked what we saw in that episode. Other than that, it was mostly just updates on my current comic projects for the Snapdragon Club web series. For instance, currently the finale for the comic dub is still in the works. The comic itself, is completely done. Especially considering I already did a stream where I did not stop coloring until I finished coloring the comic. So I guess don't look at that if you don't want spoilers, but there's that that I've completely done. Right now, in terms of comic dub work, I'm in the midst of putting all the panels as separate files so that I can put them in the video editor, and then from there I'd be able to put them together in the video editor. But also I'm still trying to get my hands on enough voice lines for the character so that I can get started on actually making the sound design for the comic dub. 3 a.m. challenge till God drawing us these. Dude, wild type, yes. I will say without saying too much, that 5 gave me a brand new appreciation for Agatha. I will admit, the stuff we learn about the characters, like some of them, including like Ragatha's development, it took me a while to figure out like what their deal was supposed to be. But for others, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. But I think after like, seeing what others thought of the episode and seeing like what they came away with it, I was like, oh, okay. I think I can see where this is coming from. Alright. Pete Comic Dub. Oh, you're sweet, but thank you very much. Though I will say that this will probably be like the last one that I like get voice actors for, not because I'm doing anything like horrible, but the comic dub was a lot of work. It really was. And I'm starting to get to a point where it's no longer feasible for me to continue, especially in the financial position that I'm in, so it's a little bit rough. Because I always want to make sure that everybody feels like they're getting their due. If I'm hiring on, other creatives for something, I'd feel bad. All that's left now is to get the potion bottles. Peak creator. No. No. I am not Peak. You shush. But alright. We've got Alden pretty much finished. I think it's not too bad overall. Would I ever do minor tweaks and changes to it? Oh, probably. Can I think of them right now? Absolutely not. But yeah, look at his sassy walk. Look at him thinking he's the top of the world. Spoiler alert, he is definitely not. Alright, but now we shall switch it up with his compatriot, Kavan. Kavan is one of the few characters that actually have a varying body type. And I really like that about him. Like, look at him. He's a big block. He's a square. Then he's got a robot birdie over there. Now, I haven't really drawn and colored Kavan a whole lot. So, it's always a challenge trying to keep him consistent with previous ways I've drawn him before. But I think this time is definitely like the version I want to keep, because it feels easier in general with how to like draw him and such. Alright, let's see. There's a pink here. Some purple here. Okay. I'll just start with, actually, are my pens over somewhere else? That is possible. Oh, wait. I'm just blind. Here they are. These are the ones I definitely need. I just see him being roughly the size of Spider-Verse Kingpin. Honestly, like, he's kind of up there. He's kind of like roughly Kingpin size, I would say. Yeah. Like, at least in terms of height. Yeah, actually both height and width, yeah. It's just the head placement that's different, honestly. Because with Kingpin, you know, his head is like down here. But, you know, I'd say size-wise, he's definitely like Kingpin size. He is a big boy. He can mess you up. That being said, he generally doesn't prefer like getting his hands dirty in that sense. He really is very much an inventor, engineer type. So he likes, you know, fiddling around with mechanics and robotics and stuff like that. especially with designing his mouth was a little bit of a challenge, just because I'm not used to drawing a tusked mouth. And for the longest time, I was drawing his tusks like as part of his bottom lip almost. But I think I finally decided, yeah, they're gonna be inside his lips, thank you very much. Now that is an amazing character design. I'm glad you like him. I am really glad about that. Like, I came up with Kavan and also Estro's character design around the same time. I don't talk about Estro a whole lot, but generally how that like character design session went was just like, I have a lot of characters that have the same like figure, you know. It's almost like a has-been hotel situation where it's like everyone's like a skinny noodle, or you know everyone generally has a similar shape. So I'm like, what are some different shapes I can use that I think could be interesting? And for Kavan, it was basically a square, and for Estro was kind of like a pentagon or diamond shape. So Estro has sort of like this sharp hump sort of thing going on. And Estro is sort of like an old goat man. So yeah, I am like pretty proud of like both of their designs just because of how much they vastly differ from my usual. Okay. Not just the shape is interesting, you really nailed the detailing as well. I mean, thank you, honestly, just because, like, details are something I really struggle with in a character design. Because, like, it's like, okay, I've got a general shape, but now what? And especially, like, if this is a completely fresh character, like, I don't know a backstory or anything for them, then I'm just like, okay, well, I think it's like, it's kind of a chicken or the egg situation for me. Sometimes it's like, do I create a backstory based on what they look like, or do I create what they look like and then form a backstory around why they look like that? Like right now, I am once again hitting the wall of what on earth do I color his outfit? That is another thing that I am usually struggling with, is outfits. Because yes, I have a couple of things I can fall back on, but that doesn't always necessarily mean it's a good idea. I think I do remember that I do want these to be a nice striking green, because the idea is that these are supposed to be like LED type thingies that light up. The face gives me Oni vibes and I'm here for it. Yeah, honestly, they are very Oni vibes. All he needs is a giant club. The best feel I can describe this design, this feels like a character I would see in some of the cartoons I loved as a kid. I mean... I would take that as a compliment, honestly, just because there's probably several cartoons that I draw inspiration from just in my art style alone. And so I know there's like plenty of really good like character designs from the cartoons I watched growing up. You know, sort of Disney Channel, Cartoon Network era stuff. Greeple. What color is his skin and hair? So, his face and hands are like basically white, so they'll have like a gray shading on them eventually. And his hair is sort of like a dirty blonde, and his horns are a brownish color, and his eyes are like yellow-green. At least that's the plan. Sometimes I accidentally pick the wrong alcohol marker and I get a different color than what I want, and I just have to wing it. I could give him a brown jacket. That might be a good one. the green. Green, green, and dark, dark purple goes good with gray, and purple complements yellow. I think a deep green or blue for the coat could work as well. I was also considering that. The only reason I'm kind of hesitating on blue is just because the bird is gonna probably be like shadowed with blue or have like a steely, like blue-gray type color to it. So I'm a little bit afraid of its color melding too much into the jacket. Maybe if I just solidify the accents, that'll help. Though I think I might do like, maybe I'll do shades of blue for like his jacket and pants thing. That might work. I think I got something. I think I do. I just realized I'm still low on brown. Browns and yellows. I'm going to have to need more browns and yellows. But I can probably make this work somehow. Dreamwalker works, so maybe not brown. Maybe not brown. overcoat dark brown, undershirt dark gray, tie red or gold, suit maybe beige or silvery color. Silver is not a bad idea, honestly. I'm just gonna keep this. I'm just gonna ink for now, and then I'll see what alcohol markers I have available. That's one of the, I suppose, downsides of working with the physical media. You gotta work with what you got. And my problem is, I'm not sure if I have any dark browns on me. Otherwise, I would have loved to have done that. I think I used up all my dark browns working on Dreamwalker though. That's good enough. You guys all for trying to help me. Just want you to know I appreciate it. Man, this is definitely one of the days I wish I didn't have to wear black gloves, because it is hot. start with, let's see. We'll start with the bird. try and use the green gray to represent like the lightest part of the jacket, but also like where all those green LEDs are kind of glowing on it. And then depending on how the rest of these go, neutral gray is very neutral. This red gray, we can put it maybe here-ish. This is another red gray, but it's darker. Could that be the color of the entire jacket? I'm not sure. It's cool gray. No. It's neutral gray. It's darker. Harpy. And goodness, so many markers now. The screen is practically filled with them. Feel the urge to make a Matrix joke here, but my brain's too fried. In all seriousness, the black and green look good on this dude. Yeah. I guess I can see that. So, I think I am still also a little bit fried from doing Alden's. It's a little bit tough because I've drawn Alden so much, and black, white, and green was basically, you know, his color scheme essentially for a long time. And specifically, Alden's is sort of that grassy sort of green color, whereas Kavan's is supposed to be like a yellowish green. It was supposed to be, but just never settle on his clothing colors, and it's because I think what's tripping me up is because I gave him blonde hair and brown horns, that messes me up a bit. It makes me think maybe I should have changed his hair. But it's kind of character relevant, so I don't know. And that character relevance being that he very much likes to stand out, and he is not afraid to modify his body to his liking. Yeah, the hair and horns still look great. When I was deciding on Plet and Boodle's color schemes for Dungeon Smalls, my brain decided on a sky kind of thing for Plet starting out, and more earthy colors for Boodles. Not entirely sure why, but I am happy with that being their starting color schemes. Yeah, I can definitely see that. At the color schemes so far, or from what I've seen, and like they work pretty well for them, and especially it fits like the world that they're a part of as well. It's like It just meshes well overall, I think. But yeah, here's, come on. I believe I got everything. I think I played it safe a little bit and did it just mostly neutral colors with hints of color and hints of hues in there. But yeah. But it's okay if it's not maybe his best outfit. At the very least, the base design is still great. I forgot to color in his little hairband things, which honestly, I'll have it dark. I'll have it dark. I think that works. There we go. I think that'll do for him. I think I'm gonna go easy on myself and start on shade next. Still a powerful build for a powerful creature? Yeah. Now, shade is easy, and that is because he is monochromatic. So I don't have to worry about what to color him. It's more of a how to color him. line art is complete. So I just need to erase all the sketching underneath. So this is Jade the Nightmare Fae. He appears in the Hunter's Tale, and comic dub wise, he appears in part 2. And like, I think in terms of my comic dub work, currently Hunter's Tale part 2 is probably my favorite. Just cause I feel like that's like the best use of the sound mixing, as well as like me being able to like kind of give better voice direction. But other than that, yeah, I think that's just normally how it goes. Usually the latest of something is like the better work, because after all the practice you get all the like possibly worst ones out of the way. Which, I mean, I was still trying with, like, say, the Wanderer's Tale and part 1. It was just a challenge figuring out how I wanted things to sound, how things should sound. And just what makes it, like, compelling to come back to. Sift through all the audio files I have, especially a lot of songs, because picking the right song to go along with a scene is it matters a lot. Sometimes there's a small voice sample in the BGM and I think someone's in the next room or something. Yeah, I mean, I really hope that you guys can't hear past my voice in the music, cause yeah. I don't want to wreck the illusion of where I am. I can't imagine voice direction. I have only had voice claims for some of my fan characters. Dude, I am so terrible with voice claims. Like, if you had to ask me what Shade sounded like before I cast someone as him, I would not be able to tell you precisely, like, what voice I had in mind for him. But somehow I managed to come up with something to describe it. When I initially pitched the role, I kind of said he sounded like Alucard from Helsing. So that's how I found the voice actor for Shade. And yeah, he did absolutely awesome in the role. Oh, hello there. Welcome, welcome. New to the stream. How's everyone's doing? Nice to meet y'all. Not that great today, but thanks for asking. Oh. Well, I hope seeing some art makes your day. So just to catch you up, I'm doing some character artwork today. And these characters are from my original webcomic, the Snapdragon Club series. And since you're new here, I think I'll go ahead and show you some of the other artwork that I did last stream. So for instance, this is Scotty Hijack, one of my protagonist characters. She's basically an angel with fire powers. And then we have Dreamwalker, a fae of good dreams. And a Tomtress, a fae who is the keeper of the magical library. And Oren Kingsley, a magically born human who is a detective. And today, so far, we have managed to do 2 demon characters. This is my narcissistic alchemist Alden, who's one of my antagonistic characters, and the other one is his compatriot Kavan, who is more of an inventor. And the one I'm currently working on is the Nightmare Fae Shade, who actually makes an appearance in one of my latest comic dubs. My channel has a couple of comic dubs from my Snapdragon Club series. The latest one being The Hunter's Tale, and Shade makes his first appearance in part 2 of the Hunter's Tale comic dub. VTuber model looks great and your drawing looks amazing. Thank you. So, I actually drew my PNGtuber myself. In this form, I am known as Hikari Harpy. And lore-wise, I am actually the creator of Sanctus, which is the name of the entire world that the Snapdragon Club series is based on. So, within lore and in meta, I am the creator of Sanctus and the Snapdragon Club. But yeah, it is an ongoing series, which if you haven't seen it, the comic, there are a bunch of comic dubs, and the first one I ever did was called Snapdragon Club The Grand Opening, which is a sort of slideshow series. Not really a proper comic dub since there's no voice acting, but I do have music in the background and whatnot. But yeah, so you can view the panels there, or you could read the pages on one of my Tumblrs. It's Ask Sanctus webcomic, I believe. Which I also have just a general art Tumblr as well, Hikari Yushi Art. But yeah, basically all my links, are in my channel page, so there's that. But yeah, after the Snapdragon Club grand opening, there was a reader POV comic, which is Snapdragon Club The Wanderer's Tale, which basically takes you through what's it like to be a human that is isekai'd to the world of the Snapdragon Club, because yeah, in the Snapdragon Club, it is not uncommon for humans to get isekai to that world in various ways. Yeah, thanks for checking it out. But as for your question, what my PNGtuber model is, so, as I mentioned before, this is essentially me as Hikari Harpy, a creator, and if you want to ask what specifically they are in this form, technically Harpy, which actually, I'm gonna take a moment to purple crowns. I actually don't know what that purple crown means. But apparently that just means they're my top fan. What is this experience system? Is this new? Oh, the leaderboard. Place for fans to stand out in the community. Top 3 get special badges in live chat. It resets every stream. Oh, that's neat. Okay. I didn't know that was a feature. But yeah, if you wanted a quick look at what my whole model looks like, this is essentially the back and front. Sometimes I have wings, but I can retract them. But yeah, I tend to like to keep my tail. It's a prehensile tail, so it comes in handy, you know? But yeah. So, yeah. In the meta, I am just in the creatives garden, making all sorts of art, all sorts of creations to pass the time. Because it gets lonely up here. But that's why I'm glad to have you guys around. So thank you very much for stopping by. And yes, please feel free to speak your mind, talk about anything. It's supposed to be a chill environment here. you don't mind me asking, what's the alchemist's name? Oh, were you talking about my demon alchemist? So, his name is Alden, and he's got plans of world domination. He uses his potions to create monsters. Most of the time, they're like slime-based monsters. But he's got a few special monsters that are more intelligent and sentient. And there is even one, or maybe a few, that he calls his sons. But yeah. Close. It's Alden with an E. So it's Alden. And you can see actually in the little corner over there, I made a little plushy version of him. And he's right next to his son Puro. And right next to him is a little plushy version of Scotty, who I showed earlier. And speaking of down there, that's also where my Ko-fi link is. Which, if you do donate, there is a little, like, gift that plays and your donation shows up on stream. So, that's just there. If anyone feels like it and has the means to, please don't if you do not have the means to. But if you do have the means, I highly appreciate it. It is time for a refill. Love the designs. Alden is my favorite since he reminds me of my first OC. Aww. Yeah. A lot of these characters are came from fandom OCs that I repurposed into being in their own original world, so yeah. I totally understand what it means to make OCs for all sorts of things. I could blab on about basically all the origins of basically each character that I've shown on stream, so yeah. In the meantime, I'm gonna refill this alcohol marker because it is out of ink. Well, not completely out of ink, but I don't want to strain my wrist just trying to get the last bits of ink out, so I'm just gonna start. That. But yeah, in case you're curious, I basically stream every Friday at 10 a.m. Supposing nothing goes wrong like it did today, because today was my first time trying to schedule a stream, and I didn't know how to do that, so I ended up having a stream like half an hour late. But yeah, usually my stream starts at 10 a.m. PST. So if you ever want to catch me live, I've been trying to keep to this schedule. But otherwise, if you can't, I always am super grateful for anybody who decides to catch the VOD afterwards. It's awesome just to have people here, whether or not you're here while I'm live. And I usually read and reply to comments, or if I don't reply, I'll usually at least leave a heart to say that I read it. So yeah, never feel bad for missing a stream if you ever can't make it. If you don't mind me asking, what was your first OC? Oh. Are we talking fandom OCs or just original characters in general? Because original characters in general, then I would have to say my character, the Tomtress, actually has the biggest history, as she has gone through multiple names and multiple changes in design, but she's always had long dark hair and a long dark dress. Those were the two aspects that always remained the same. And she always kind of had this seriousness about her. But yeah, she started off as just an original character just for use as a medieval fantasy type character. And she actually, like, she started off as a fairy, and then I turned her into a demon that could transform into a bat, and then eventually I turned into a fan OC for The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And then after that I switched her up again, and now she is the Temptress. Sounds like a great OC. Yeah, I showed her earlier in case it was a little too quick. Here she is. She used to be like absolutely super edgy, like all black, everything. But I've since added blue to her color scheme, which I think helps to add a little bit more to it. But yeah, unfortunately, she's currently only a lore character in terms of the Snapdragon Club series. But who knows? Maybe one day she'll make an official comic appearance, but we'll see. It depends. Yeah, sorry for not saying this earlier, but welcome, Chesbeth. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. In terms of edginess, you could say that Shay the Nightmare Fae has definitely taken on the edginess. He is the Nightmare Fae, after all. like, you could tell me about your first OC if you feel comfortable sharing. The same goes for anyone who watches this during the VOD. Feel free to share your OCs in the comments. this, I think I'm going to call this stream. I think I'm going to call it for today. But I want to thank everyone who stopped by for the stream. Again, sorry to the people who actually came to the stream because I started like freaking half an hour late. But yeah, I can't promise that mishaps like that won't happen again, but I will certainly do my best to minimize them at the very least. And at least this is a learning experience, so hopefully the next time I schedule a stream, it'll actually happen on time. But yeah, once again, thank you all so much for watching and for being here. Once again, my Ko-fi link is right there, and if just donating isn't enough, there are stickers of my Snapdragon Club characters available, so if you feel like snatching some of those, yeah, those are available. But yeah, I hope to catch you guys next stream. Oh, yes. Thank you for stopping by, Mr. Repairman. You're number one for this stream. Hope you enjoy wearing your badge with pride. So that's a fun little surprise. But yeah. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next week. See you later. Bye.